Hello and welcome to Flippin' Through, the internet's #1 Mad Magazine news, review, and interview channel. Today we're doing something special. We're doing a first appearances episode for none other than Don Duck Edwing. But before we get into that, guys, I gotta say, I'm at 375 subscribers. I'm just like right there. Maybe I'm yo-yo a little bit, up, down, side to side. I really want to achieve 400 subscribers. So if this is the first time you're watching a video, if you've watched several videos and you're not subscribed yet, please consider clicking subscribe, hit thumbs up on the video, and of course, leave a comment down below. If you want to support me in another way, if you've watched 100 of my videos, I don't even know if I've done that many, and you're like, hey, I want to give this guy some shekels, you can head to patreon.com/flippinthrough, and I owe a thank you to some of my patrons. Patrons like Mark Wolf, Bobby Weigel, Cam Hayden, Ed Meisinger, Doug Guilford, Rob Wilson, Rod Mead Sperry, Andrew Goldfarb, Casey Ori, and Kyle Bridget. Thank you so much for the support, guys. I really hope that I can keep on earning it. If you're wondering, hey, what do I get out of the deal? You get stickers, bro. Okay? That's what you get. And I already have them ready. They're waiting for you. And then I just send them to you. They got your name on it, figuratively. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get right into this. I'm very excited. The very first appearance of Don Martin. Oh, wait. Jeez Louise, I get ahead of myself. I don't know about you, but when I think of Duck Edwing, what I think about is an artist. I think about his signature style, like these creatures with these big bulbous noses and these sort of short, squat features, like little short arms and legs. And, of course, alliteration. That's another thing that comes to mind. But I have a very firm idea of who Don Edwing or Duck Edwing is in my mind. And it's not a writer. That's not the first thing that comes to mind. But maybe it should be. We'll see. We'll start off right now with Mad Magazine issue. Hold on. Could I move this around without ruining it? Mad Magazine issue number 70. And here it is. And this is a beautiful copy. I ordered this special. All right. Somebody said, hold on. I got to focus. Somebody said, yo, bro. Would you do a first appearances of Duck Edwing? And I said yes, but I found out I didn't have this issue. You know, most of the issues I'm missing at this point are the ones in the pre-issue 100. That's most of the gaps in my collection at this point. So I got it. All right. If you want it, I got it. That's the type of service I provide here at Flippin' Through. Anyway, I love this, and this is probably very soon going to get its own flip through because there's so much good stuff in here. I had to flip through it because I had to find his first appearance. But there's such great stuff from like Bob Clark and, believe it or not, Dave Berg. Some really cool stuff from Dave Berg that I really want to dig into because Dave Berg was great. All right. So here we have his very first appearance, and it is as a writer. He is writing for Mr. Joe Orlando, and it's a recurring thing. The scenes we'd like to see. You've probably seen this before. I mean, it's been going for decades, right? And they would have scenes we'd like to see, fairy tale scene we'd like to see. I think there were I don't know if there were other variations on the gag, but it was something that showed up a lot. Different artists, different writers. In fact, I think Kit Lively got to write one for Al Jaffe, a fairy tale scene that we would like to see. Now, this one is great because it is like a perfect introduction for Duck Edwing to Mad Magazine. It's just silliness, and as I think it's safe to say he does like wordplay. He does like playing around with words, hence his alliterative titles. But here's the abominable snowman. So we got, I don't know, some guy hiking with his Sherpa. His buddy says, "Oh, it's a abominable, or it's the abominable, the abadubublo." So each one of these, look, he I don't know how many misspellings you could come up with of abominable snowman. I have about 3 in me. But this poor sap, is trying to tell them what he's seeing. Shouts, "It's him!" And of course, he scampers away. He says, "It's who?" And before he can even get it out, because he can't get it out, they just turn back to the map and focus on what they have to do. But I really liked that. It's silly. Which, how else would you describe Duck Edwing except for silly? Now, one thing you might notice is that this is an early issue. Mad number 70. This came out 1962. So, Duck was working at Mad. If you think of it, he was working into the 2000s. He was working at Mad Magazine consistently for like 4 decades. Of course, some periods of time more consistently than others, but he was working consistently for a very, very long time. And most of that time, or not most, but a huge amount of that time was exclusively as a writer. Now, this is Mad number 170. I'm trying to reach around the microphone to scratch my own face. Mad 176, and this is his first time appearing both as a writer and as an artist. And this is a mad look at Burial at Sea, which is a good reminder that Sergio Aragonés is not the inventor of a mad look at. This is something that, until Sergio started doing it, was kind of passed around. There was, I think there was a Paul Coker one. I'm pretty sure there's a Paul Coker one. I'm almost positive there was a Bob Clark one as well. And so we have his take on it. Now, what you'll notice is, that was 1962. We're now into 1975. I'm assuming he was writing or illustrating that whole time because, he is an illustrator. Usually people like to doodle. I don't know how seriously he was pursuing that, but there are little tips. There's little sort of hints that this is Duck Edwing, but you don't have his whole style isn't established yet. So we have this. I don't know that I would be able to identify that as Duck Edwing. Here we have the dead body that was dropped on the captain's head. I love this one, just cracking into an ice floe. All of these are really, really funny, with a subject that really isn't that funny, right? Burials, it's a mad look at funerals, right? Or I don't know, maybe that would be funny, but here we have them unwrapping. I don't know why they're all mummies. They're wrapped up like mummies. This guy's holding on. Look at, I like that one. He dropping the captain off. Now you'll notice here on this one, you do have the big old nose, right? This is that style that he eventually falls into here at a mad look at Burial at Sea. And this is from the float some and jettison some department. And that's it. It was just a 2-page thing. But that is his very first appearance as an artist. Now, up next, what do we have? 216. All right, I think. Okay, so we're jumping ahead 5 years to 1980. And now we don't have, this is what he fell into, right? The 1-page gags, that's what he would be doing. And this is a recurring, you can see he's established his style. You see, I'm pretty sure that this is a recurring character for him, the blind guy. Okay, sorry. I just had to double check, make sure I was showing the right thing at the right time. The blind guy was like an ongoing thing. Here we go. What? I can see. And then he gets smashed by a car. Always look both ways. So he had 2 of these. One was there, and the other, the big one that got away. So here we have 2. Jump. He doesn't jump in to save his wife. He just drops in that line in hopes to get it. Now, I do like this right here. He does this cool thing with the clouds where clouds are white, obviously, right? We all agree. But what he does is he darkens the sky around them. And so you can see like the bubbles or rounded edges of the sky, but then he's just filled that in with horizontal lines. And I think that's a pretty cool effect. I like how that turned out. All right. Oh, did I just rip it? Oh, shoot. This is why I can't have nice things. Anyway, put 216 right there. Now, the next thing I have to show you isn't even a magazine. At this point, he had, as an artist, like 3 appearances as an artist at this point in Mad Magazine. And at that point, he still is given a Mad paperback book. If you're wondering right now, like, hey, how do you know all this stuff? How are you getting all this information? I'll tell you, madcoversite.com. That's how I'm getting this information. You think I researched this? No. I got it from madcoversite.com. Anyway, so here is Don Edwing's Mad Bizarre Bazaar. I wonder if he came up with that title. There are a few questions I have. Did he come up with that title? Now, you can see that these drawings were made over a pretty big span of time. And I think he started probably working on this book long before that that comic with the blind guy shows up. And the reason I say that is it's not as tight. He doesn't seem as confident in his style as he did in that issue. How about this one right here, the losing sight gag? I mean, you look at this, and this, honestly, that looks like a child's drawing. I could draw that. Right now, I could draw this. No, I could draw a better version of that, right? So here you go. The guy comes in, and he dies. She says a little bit more to the right. But it's kind of rough. And I mean, maybe it's the size, like it's just too large. But then this is beautiful. And you see that that the style is different. I don't know. Here we have more of those lines. These 2 pages in particular I like. I love how he draws this spiral staircase going around. First off, like this is already so much more complex than that one earlier. And like I think technically proficient. And here we have this background where he's using that negative space again, just like in those clouds. And then he shades in the skyline or the shadows of the windows with those vertical lines. And I guess, I mean, this is where you see his power as a writer. So this one is technically not great, but the humor is there. It's still funny. And I think, that's something that's come up before, which is, can bad writing or can good art overcome bad writing? No, that's not like, I mean, if the joke is poorly written, great art won't make it a funny joke. But funny writing can make just, not super technically proficient art the humor can still get through. And I guess technical proficiency maybe isn't even the right term because it just has to be funny. That's all it has to do. And here we have this classic, torture, that classic torture humor that Doc Edwing loved to do. I breezed by this, which is, a few things. One, I just discovered something else about this. This book is dedicated to my discoverer and friend, Nick Meglin. And so there's Duck Edwing right there, and there's Nick Meglin shoving a spike into his chest. That's pretty sweet right there. Hey, I think that tells us a lot about this book, and also, the fact that he got this book before he had a ton of mad credit. Don Martin introduces Don Edwing. I've known Don Edwing for about 3 years. How did you know him, Don? As your ghostwriter. That's right. He's been ghostwriting for Don Martin for like 3 years at this point. So that is their relationship. I have known his cartoons for maybe 15. I've always liked his gags, and in fact have used a number of them through the years in a Through the Miles collaboration. But his drawings intrigue me more. I've watched his style develop and grow, always going in the same general direction, but with many tangents and uncertainties. Now he is fully zeroed in on a style that is beautiful. It is wild and free and uninhibited. It is fun, and above all, it is funny. It's above all, it's funny. Yes. Anyway, the only thing I have against Don Edwing's drawings is that all the characters look the same. About the only thing he can do to distinguish them is to put a striped shirt on one, maybe curly hair on another. Stuff like that. Oh well, here then, Mad Readers, is Don Edwing. And I think that's a pretty sweet introduction to have. But that's a pretty special Mad paperback. Let's zoom out. Zoop. Now we are ready for something that we have seen. We've seen this on the show before, and this is Don Edwing's first appearance as the Spy vs. Spy writer. He was doing the writing. Bob Clark was doing the art. And, I mean, it's a pretty good one, I do have to say. I think that they were a great team. They kept that torch burning perfectly for many, many years. And I don't know. I just wanted to show it because it is significant. It's significant in two ways. One, it's Don Edwing first appearance, and also it's Spy vs. Spy. Anyway, I don't have that much to say about it. If you want to hear more about this and some of the other first appearances for Spy vs. Spy, I have a video about that on this channel too. Maybe I'll put it at the end of this video. I don't know. I've gotten so lazy about putting videos in, like those cards and things. It's like, I don't really know that I want to put the time in. Now, here we go. The 50 Worst Things About America. This is Mad Magazine number 515, June 2012. Now, this is going to be somewhat jarring because this is his final appearance. And at this point, I don't know how old he is. He's an old man. I think that's safe to say. And so, I mean, it's, I think as we grow older, our hands we can't do the things that we once did. However, I think that what is shown in this is that Don Edwing's sense of humor is securely intact. And I thought that this was super awesome. And it's really is a strong ending as a writer to a stellar career at Mad Magazine. And here we have his swan song, Nude Gingrich. Like, at this point, I have a question. Like, at this point, was Newt Gingrich still even relevant? I guess I don't care because it's still funny. It's still funny that we have Nude Gingrich. This is, I don't know. He probably didn't think this would be his final appearance in Mad Magazine, but what a great final appearance in Mad Magazine. You know, if you cannot make the choice for yourself, you know, I don't know. That's really a case for making sure that you're putting out the best product you can every single time. With that, this has been flipping through, looking at the first appearances of Duck Edwing. If you guys have any suggestions for future videos, if there's an artist that you want me to look at in a first appearance segment, let me know. Hit me up in the comments. You can send me DMs on any of the social media, flippingthrough.com. You can find links to everything, including our Facebook group, where you can just post stuff. And I think I got to get better at checking that. Anyway, that is that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Toodaloo.